Here we are, a bit of a midweek session, so to speak. Last time you see me on here, the water was a lot lower than this. As you can see, the water is just about kissing the top of the jetty. So, let's see how we get on today, shall we? It's a good day. It's a Thursday. We're back out on the Upper Lough. It's a wee bit higher than normal. We've got some waves coming over the wooden jetty, which is awesome. I have 3 rods out at the minute. I'm contemplating putting 4, but at the minute there's only 3. All ledgered on the bottom, mackerel tail, big smelt, and a salmon par. It's just gone dawn. The sun is just about creeping up over the hill there, just down towards Crom Castle. Looking forward to today. I really am. System hasn't been fishing great, but it's a day fishing. It's always a good day when it's a day fishing. There isn't going to be no cooking with scopes this episode. Do you like that? I just bought a couple of breakfast sandwiches from one of the petrol stations on the way here. But I'm going to make a cup of tea or coffee. Don't know yet. And then I am going to enjoy a day's pike fishing. Look at the place, it's beautiful. Well, here we are. Another day on the loch. Excuse me. Got 3 rods out at the minute, and I have a duck. It's going away. That's alright. I had a duck kind of sitting in the jetty, and it decided that it wanted to have a go at the drop arm for some bizarre reason. It's in the water again now. Wildlife. Shaping up to be a good day. It is just gone 11 o'clock. No fish yet, no runs yet, but we live in hope. I might put out a 4th rod, but I'm going to have another cup of coffee, I think. I can see that there's black clouds coming this direction, which that means there might be some rain, but it's okay. Rinner Brawley, everything is good. Had to give the grass a thorough sweep for dog eggs to make sure there's none of them. This is a spot where dog walkers love to take Fido down so it can empty its bowels, and then they scarper and leave it. You know, those terribly awesome dog walkers. But it's a good day. I'm fishing. One of my friends on Facebook sent me some pictures of pike he came across on Lough Erne. This picture. Yeah. A load of pike dumped in one spot with their bellies slit open. That's trout anglers sending a message, I would think. I say trout anglers, not all trout anglers. The fella that actually took the photograph, he's an angling guide on Corrib. He takes people out for trout and for everything. I'll include his details, his email and that in the description below. But it's kind of, that shows you the attitude that we have to deal with. The game anglers, they're well, some of them are a special breed. It's not just Cora, but this sort of nonsense happens. I mean, I'm on the Upper Lough. It was only like last year that commercial fishing was banned on the Upper Lough here, Upper Lough Erne. You know, before that people could commercially net this system for pike. And it's not like the pike are going into the food chain, it's going to fish meals and cat food. So they're prepared to destroy the angling tourism. But as long as, you know, Felix gets his cat food, that's all good, eh? I've discussed this before on the different vlogs. I am very, very anti-commercial angling. It shouldn't happen. I mean, they're even talking at the minute of seeing if they're doing a survey to see if there's enough of a perch population that they can net the perch. Again, not for human food, but for fish meals and cattle feeds and pet food. You know, we're still in a country, this is Northern Ireland, we're still in Northern Ireland. You know, the rest of Europe has banned commercial eel fishing. I think Northern Ireland is the only country in Europe that still has a commercial eel fishery. You know, everywhere else tells you that the eel is critically endangered and really, really struggling, but here we have commercial fisheries for them, despite it being banned everywhere else. Funny old world. As I said, I'm on the Upper Lough Erne. Lough Erne is broken into three parts, or three parts of the Erne system. You have Upper Lough Erne, then you have the river, then you have Lower Lough Erne. If you look on the map, if you look at County Fermanagh on the map, Lower Lough Erne is the bigger one. You know, you have two river Erns. You have one that flows through Enniskillen town, and then one that flows through Bleak, and then onwards to Ballyshannon hydroelectric dam. But the game anglers on the Erne are still pushing for commercial nets to cull the pike on Lower Lough Erne. They're a special bunch, really. The game anglers will tell you that there's no trout on Lough Erne because the pike have ate them all. But if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Still, welcome to Northern Ireland. Oh, there's another mind-bending thing for you. You come to Northern Ireland and you buy a licence and a permit to pay to fish Lough Erne as a tourist, as an angler. Even me as an angler, I have to pay this. That money goes into a pot. There's then grants handed out to commercial anglers for nets and outboards every year. So in a roundabout way, the rod and line angler is paying for his sport to be destroyed. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? The trout guys are keen for the nets to stay on the lower loch, but the trout guys seem to be widely ignorant of the fact that these nets actually catch quite a lot of trout as well. What can you do, eh? Anyway, enough chit chat, I'm going to make a brew. This is my salmon power bit. what I'm going to do, I am going to plug it up with some salmon oil. Wonders it's still floating. No, it's sinking now. Right, so let me just get this here for you. As you can see, it's a nice salmon power. These come from the salmon farms. These aren't wild fish, before anyone starts to lose their fucking mind. Alright, on in the hole. Let's get this ready to rock and roll, shall we? And that's us on the bottom. It's pretty deep here. Right. That's juiced up. We'll cover this up now before I get. This is CC Moor salmon extract. Really, really, really good stuff. Awesome stuff. I go through jars of this. Don't want to spill it on you because it's absolutely hoaching, but really, really good. The pike, absolutely love it. Let's get the ye olde mackerel tail. Let's just set this here into the road. Let's get our mackerel tail and get it juiced up. Take a wee dander up here. May as well use the jetty to get a little bit further. Lovely half mackerel. I'm just going to punch a load of holes in it. Get a load of smell out into the water. See the way I'm holding my finger over the needle? That ensures the needle's only going in a little bit, so it's not going through the whole bit into my hand. It's just a little trick. Just a little bit of oil in there, a bit more in there. Let's get this bad boy sent out to the horizon. That's it on the bottom. again, it's a bit deep here. And that is our baits, juiced up, ready to rock and roll. Big mackerel tail, smelt, and then a salmon par. I've attached a little PVA bag of little krill nuggets and bits of crumb and other bits and pieces, pellets. Pellets all soaked in oil, so they'll break down and just kick out a nice scent. Hopefully that'll bring the pike up. The flow is going that way, so if you keep going that way you're heading towards Lady Craigavon Bridge, which is just down there. So keep those fingers crossed for me. I don't want to leave here today on the blank. The wind's getting a bit rough. We're getting some froth, we're getting some waves crashing over the jetty. It's getting a bit windy. The weather forecast for the weekend gives it to be quite severe winds, so this is just the beginning. It's a Thursday, so Friday's going to be bad, Saturday's going to be bad. I'm out again on Sunday, but I'm not telling you where I'm going on Sunday. I don't think I'll be making much of a vlog about it. Just a day out for the crack, you know, for the laugh. I had a throw around with the deeper. The water temperature is 13 degrees. Hard to believe it's the 12th of November and we still have 13-degree water temperatures, or 12 to 13 degree water temperatures. It started off at 12.5, then it went up to 13.1, and I don't know if that's the fault with the deeper, because that's a 0.6 of a swing. But then again, I was throwing it kind of in the middle of the main channel, and then more so over by well, where the sheltered bits are, out of the wind. But the water temperature is still quite warm. I haven't had a run yet, not a touch, which is a bit disappointing so far. It's just gone 2 o'clock, still not a sausage. Again, disappointing. I'm not sure if you guys were watching the news recently. I've kind of switched off from the news, I'll be honest with you. The whole, you know, the media, the news, between the whole Donald Trump election thing and between the COVID nonsense, and no, I kind of stopped watching the news. I kind of feel that we're being lied to on an industrial scale by our politicians. So no change there then. Currently in Northern Ireland, we've just had a week of a lockdown, and from what I can gather, COVID in Northern Ireland seems to have been split into tribal politics. You know, fucking bizarre. We have the nationalists and Republicans saying, well, let's extend the lockdown, and we have the unionists saying, no, we're not going to do that. It's like, either we have a global pandemic with a disease that's really, really serious and it'll fuck people up, or we don't. Either we need to be isolated and locked down, or we fucking don't. I just wish that we had some honesty don't think we're going to get much honesty. Do you?
20 minutes later.
As it's blowing a gale, I was going to show you some of the little tricks I use for catching pike, but it's totally ripping through now wind-wise, so I'm not going to go outside. I'm going to stay underneath the brolly and stay dry. People for pike don't typically really use ground bait. You're missing a trick. There is ground baits commercially available on the market that will work in a pike angler's favour. You know, I'm not talking kind of, you know, going and buying a bag of Sensus Roach 3000. That will specifically bring in roach or silverfish. So yes, that could still be used to bring the fish into where you're fishing for pike, and hope that the silverfish get stirred up. I'm talking ground bait specifically designed to bring in pike, not silverfish or other fish. So let's start with a really good one of my favourites. This stuff here is made by Bait Tech. Salmon fry crumb. You only get it in a little half kilo bag, but mixing this up with a little bit of the CC Moore salmon extract, it absolutely reeks of salmon. Really strong smell, really strong fish smell. And because it's a light colour, it's like a very light brown, almost red, it tends to stand out on the bottom, especially here in Northern Ireland. The Erne system, the water is peat stained, it's very, you know, brown. So having a ground bait like this that kind of highlights the bait on the bottom. Now when I'm mixing up this here, I'll take a normal ground bait bowl, I'll put the ground bait in there dry, I'll then take some chunks of fish. Typically I like sardines and mackerel. You know, nice, oily, easy to use, easy to obtain fish. So you take your sardines and your mackerel, cut them up into little bits. Don't cut them up into big, massive mouthfuls. You don't want to feed the fish, you only want to get them in the area rooting around for your bait. So if you cut them into little slithers about just under a centimetre, you know, little tiny strips of that there, that'll kind of stick to this. All the oils, the juices and the bloods from their fish will mix in with the breadcrumb will absorb it. Then when it comes to binding it together, you don't really add water. Oh, we're away. Yes, that's a fish. Doesn't feel very big. Here. Second bite. It's just a right. So let me get this one put back out. And then I'll deal with this pike in the net. Right, that is it on the bottom. Turn this off. Right, let's have a look at this pike now. Looks like she's been through the wars a little bit, but let me get the trace unhooked here, get the rod away. If the rod's away, then we're all good. Net. Let's get our hood hooking tools. Let's find out where these hooks are. Ah, she's hooked nice. Nice in the mouth. It's just in the right. Let's just get you. Okay, calm down. Okay, calm down. Calm down. She's blind in one eye. Right. Let me get. She's blind in that eye. That eye has had some damage done to it. And she's had some damage to her chin here. So she's had some poor handling in the past. Let me just get the hook out here a wee bit. I'll have to go in through the side here just to get this turned. Down. It's alright, it's okay. I would say she's a double. I wouldn't say she's a big double, but we're going to weigh her just in case and get some photographs. That was on a mackerel tail, so let's just put it in here. Get her weighed. Handle straight. In the middle of this thing, maybe. I'm going to call that 12.5, just because it's so windy. Take a photograph here. That eye's clean. She's obviously had some damage here, and this eye's blind. Some damage there, some damage to fins. She's been damaged there. She's either been used by a gaff or that's a boga grip. So, very small fish, very lean fish. There she goes, and away she goes. Oi, oi, oi! Woohoo! Not a blank! Oh. Not a blank! Oh, right. Where were we? That's right, we're talking about ground bait. This stuff, really good. It's expensive though, £3 for 500 grams of it. This here will do me 2 sessions. You know, I'll mix it in half, mix it into a small bait bowl, add your chopped fish. If you want, you can bulk it up with pellets, like the little pellets you see me cast earlier on. So that's the Biotech Salmon Fry Crumb. Then the other one that I like is from CC Moore. I'm a fan of CC Moore. CC Moore do awesome stuff. This is their salmon microfeed. This is basically the same pellets and bits of, this is the, from my understanding, this is the pellets they feed the salmon in the cages. It's designed to give the salmon an extra salmony taste. Because if you don't know, if you ever eat farmed salmon, you're actually eating the worst type of salmon you can get. Never ever buy farmed salmon. But this is the microfeed. This is, well, again, this isn't that cheap. You know, it's a bit more expensive than the BitTech stuff. You can see that it's a brown colour. Absolutely stinks of salmon. Really strong smell of salmon. Lots of oil content, so when you mix this with chopped up fish, the oil slick is a thing of beauty coming from this stuff here. This is very, very good, but for a long time there I couldn't really get hold of it, so I ended up having to buy it direct from I can't remember the name. What was it? Oh, where was the shop in England I bought it from? I had to buy 10 bags at a time because I couldn't buy it single, but they wouldn't ship it to Northern Ireland unless I bought a decent amount of it. So I ended up buying 10 bags of this, plus a whole load of CC Moore liquids, just to make it worth the delivery. So this stuff, if you can get it, it's worth a go. But say you don't have access to that, say you can't get the CC Moore stuff or the bait tech stuff, and you live somewhere like me in Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland, and you're struggling to get bait or ground bait that's specifically designed, you know, the carp guys use that a lot, but the carp guys are missing the trick. The pike absolutely love this stuff, absolutely go daft for it. But saw new baits, brought out this mix, which is basically dehydrated fish. Big lumps of dehydrated fish blended up into a crumb. It is fish meals, like pellets, and basically pellets that have been pulverized into dust, and it has been dehydrated fish. So this here, I mean, they advertise this for carp, bream and skimmers. In England, the carp eat a lot of fish meals, so the bream and the silverfish have switched on to fish meals. But here in Northern Ireland, if you ever try and feed fish meal, then you're going to attract every pike in the swim. So I was there thinking, you know, if it works in the summer, why won't it work in the winter time when I'm fishing for pike? This stuff here is actually really, really good. See, if I'm pre-baiting, I'll get my fish. But last time I was pre-baiting, I was used damaged rainbow trout and other fish like, you know, damaged koi, goldfish, stuff that you couldn't really use as bait because it was too small. You know, basically it was stuff that you know, it was great pre-bait. Even if you get big fish like big mackerel and big herring, chop them into 2 to 3 inch chunks, or chop them into half bits. The pike will still suck them down, they'll still eat them. I mean, pike will even eat fry, you know. So I mean, I got 12 pounds of sprats, and I basically used them all as pre-bait. You know, I'd mash them up with a potato masher, mix them with this stuff actually, and then bomb it into the swim. The thing with pre-baiting, you want to try and attract the big fish, so you're putting in little chunks of bait, you know, 2 inch chunks, maybe 3 inch chunks. Then you're going to go to half baits, then you're going to go to full baits. So when you come along and you cast your full bait, the pike's going to come along and see, well, I've been used to eating full mackerel, full smelt, full trout, full whatever, and it'll just horse it down. You'll find with pre-baiting an area, if you can get away with it, the bigger fish move in and bully the rest of the smaller fish away. But the thing with the pre-baited swim, you only get maybe 1, 2 at the most shots at it. It's so easy to put the fish off the area, and it's so hard to get them back again. With pre-baiting, you need to basically double check that the fish are eating the bait. There's no point piling it in if the fish aren't in that area and the bait's just lying there rotten. You have to basically be sure that there is pike there to eat it, and eventually the smaller fish get pushed out by the bigger fish who realise this is a place for an easy meal. My pre-baiting, I would run it in 6-week cycles. I would feed once or twice a week for 6 weeks and then fish it on the 7th week. Again, you're only fishing it once, or maybe at the very, very most twice, because if you fish it once and you do it right, all the big fish, they're hoovering up those fish as soon as they can see them. So you'll get quick bites. Very often when I'm fishing over pre-bait, I'm only using 1, maybe 2 rods, because you're expecting the baits to go very, very quickly. The fish see the food there and they just horse it down. They're not scared of it because they know what they've got used to it. So ground baiting and pre-baiting for pike, this stuff pretty good. Now, after all that excitement, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. It's getting a bit breezy. We've just had a shower of rain, so it seems to have held off for a little bit longer than I expected. But it looks like it's going to be raining now for the rest of the evening. I'm going to fish until dark and then pack up and go home. If there's nothing of interest, then I will see you all next time.